Yes, I live for this.
You have like a process for this podcast, or we're just chatting?
Everybody's scared of you. And I was like,
You're Miranda Bailey?
they like
Yeah.
slap you around for like an hour and they're like, no.
Always. There's a huge raccoon.
And we text about raccoons all the time.
Nothing ever makes it out of the group chat.
I'm a hot mess today. Hot mess. You have like a process for this podcast, or we're just chatting?
I think we're going to chat and we're going to talk about some topics and we'll just work it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
I thought, honestly, since I'm here, I'm just going to multitask with some skincare because this is where we are in life.
This one kid calls me over. They're like in their study hall. And he says, well, so-and-so needs to ask you a question, but he's scared to ask you. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, everybody's scared of you. And I was like,
You're Miranda Bailey?
he goes, and I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I know for a fact the entire sixth grade is terrified of you. And I was like, yes, I live for this.
Someone is joining our group. No.
Look
I
at
need to be
her.
quiet.
Look at her. Sick, unhappy kid. And here she is, like pulling one out for the team. Hannah, can you hear us?
Okay, while she's waiting to join us, I think what makes this mask so great has like pumpkin in it, I think. Is pumpkin good
Pumpkin.
for your skin? Honestly, I really love this. I believe I have sent you this link. It's this brand called Summer Fridays. And I'm gonna be honest, I was influenced by Sophia Richie on TikTok.
What?
The group chat
There you
really
are.
is after dark.
Are you in your car?
Are
Yes.
you in your car? Just turn off your Bluetooth. Okay, so you guys know I was a bridesmaid back in August. Our friend Kirby was kind of my wedding date. Anyway, she brought me all these eye things. And so I still have some, so I'm gonna be using some of those.
I was gifted some of those for a girls' weekend, but they did not make it home with me. I don't know what happened, and I was really upset because I wanted to try them. Are they the gold eye patches?
Crystal Collagen Gold. Yes,
Yeah.
they are
I've
gold.
used it.
When's the last time we've all
Oh,
seen each other together?
I was pregnant with Reed. I was super pregnant with Reed.
Yeah, you were. You had really bad heartburn.
oh, broken bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any topics they want to jump off with? I actually have a list. Is that very Enneagram one of me?
Oh my gosh,
I
hit us
wanted.
with the list.
I wanted. I want to know. Yeah, I want to know where Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are on the list.
Let's get right into that. First of all, did anyone see the video of the girl who ran into Travis's mom at the movie theater?
Yes.
And
No.
okay, so this girl just randomly decided to go to the movie theater to watch the Eras Tour movie. And she's like, this woman looks so much like Travis's mother. Okay, flash forward, bing, bang, boom. It is Travis's mom. She's there with her girlfriend watching the Eras Tour movie. They get a picture together. Then they go outside, and this girl realizes that she's trying to take a selfie in front of the poster. So the girl walks up to Travis Kelce's mom and is like, do you want me to take your picture for you? And she's like, yeah, would you? So she takes a picture of Travis's mom in front of Taylor's poster, and she's like, I gotta send this to Travis. So she's like, the picture I took will be seen by Travis and Taylor. And how cute is that? That his mom was literally at her movie and was like, I gotta get a selfie and I gotta send this to Travis. That's precious.
I feel like I'm the odd one where I was like, this is a PR stunt for quite a while. I'm getting to the point where I'm coming around.
Are
Taylor
too
would
many.
never lie to her fans like that.
No,
Mm-mm.
she would
The
not.
running up and the hug video was pretty cute.
So I needed you guys to come back to 2018 with me when my now husband was just my boyfriend, and
Mhm.
I was a producer on that TV show, and we filmed an episode in Arizona at
Mhm.
a this weird men's football camp thing. And my husband has been a Chiefs fan since he was born. One of the interviewees of the host was the Travis Kelce. And
What?
I need you to know that I'm a producer, so I'm trying to be cool, right? Like, I can't ask him for his picture. I can't take a picture with him. I can't take a picture of him because I have to be cool, right? But I'm dating this guy who's obsessed with the Chiefs. So, like, how do I strategically prove that I'm meeting Travis Kelce? I took this photo of myself and my Ray-Bans, but can you see it?
The reflection.
Yeah,
It's in
that
the
the reflection
reflection.
is the Travis Kelce. So since 2018, I've been calling Travis Kelce my boyfriend, just jokingly. So much so that Elsie's been calling him my boyfriend since she was like 2. So now Elsie is very confused, my 4-year-old, why Taylor Swift is dating mom's boyfriend.
Is this man what we all think he probably is in real life?
Yeah, he's pretty in real life as he is
He's
on
pretty.
TikTok. Yeah,
He's a big
for
boy.
sure. Very tall.
My theory, though, is that they have been together a lot longer than
Oh.
they're letting on. Because, I mean, she was very cozy with
Actually,
his
I have a theory about
family.
that also. Kelsey
You know,
Ballerini was they co-hosted SNL back in February, and then, Tight End University was at Vanderbilt. I was so when I lived in Nashville, Courtney, our friend Courtney and I, who still lives in Nashville, she and I would go walking from her apartment, just like hop on over to the Vanderbilt um, campus, and we would walk by Taylor's building where she has her condo. So it's wildly plausible there was a little meet cute that happened then.
that he
Mm.
sent his friendship bracelet a lot sooner than he wants us to
Yeah,
believe.
because all those he was making friendship bracelets for Tight End U. It totally works. Super
She
freaking
is like
strategic.
super, I would say she is super strategic in like everything she does.
She's what we aspire to be as communicators.
Hmm. What was number one on your list, Mary Kate?
Manifesting. How do we feel about it?
Okay, first of all, I think manifesting gets a bad rap because people are like, "Oh, that's witchcraft." I'm like, "Pfft, dude, we our teachers had us doing vision boards in first grade, cutting out those magazines. Like, it's the same thing."
The same thing as like having positive affirmations. The more positive affirmations you have and like put out, I mean, there's science behind it. Like the more positive affirmations you have and like the more you talk yourself up, like the usually the better you're performing and stuff. Have I been served a lot of them lately on TikTok where I'm like, I am just angry right now and I don't want your positive manifesting. I want you to just go away. I want the meme TikToks that are like, burn the house down.
I once saw something, and I really tried this with my children, and especially like as they get older. This girl said, she's talking about when she was a teenager, and she said, I just wasn't a troublemaker. I was a good kid. She said it wasn't until she was an adult that she figured out that all growing up, when a lot of times parents would be like, "Oh, my troublemaker. Oh, my crazy teenager." Her mom would always just say, "Oh, I just got lucky. She's such a good kid. She's such a good kid." And her mom just kept putting that out in the universe. Well, she was a really good teenager and didn't get in trouble. But if you think about it, like I try really hard with my kids when I want to say, "You crazy little turkeys," but I just am like, you got to rephrase it and put in the universe that they are good kids. They're not
You
crazy
know,
wild
I've been doing
turkeys.
I
brave and strong stuff with Elsie for 3 years, and on the first day of school, I picked her up and I was like, "I miss you so much. Did you miss me?" And she said, "No." I was like, What?" She goes, "I was brave and strong, Mom." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
I feel that way with Reed. Like a lot of people are like, I don't know if it's just like the group I'm around, like here. But all the time, I'm like, oh, we're so blessed. Like, Reed is so good. Has he been an ultimate terror the past couple of days because he was sick for a couple of days and up all night and like his whole sleep schedule is off? Yeah. But if someone asked me tomorrow, how's Reed? I'm still going to be like, ah, he's the best ever. Like, I got so lucky. And I feel like that is very different from how a lot of people talk about their children. If Reed's like going through something or throwing tantrums or like, y'all hear that? No one outside of my friend group hears that. Um, because I do think it shapes like who he is as a little person. It also shapes how you feel about your child too, I think.
Or the same thing you say
Yeah.
to your kids, if you're constantly like, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, they're going to be bad.
Are we the
Yeah.
lamest 30 somethings?
Yeah.
Maybe. That's
We used to be cool. Well, I don't know if
Gosh,
I was
that's
ever
true.
cool, but I feel like I was cooler than I am now.
it was way
Look
cooler.
at me. I'm literally not cool.
Not cool.
You used to be
Okay,
though.
what was the second thing on the list?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
The TikTok comment. I made that silly video about my Christmas tree, right? Because I wanted a
Yeah.
new okay, set the stage. I wanted a new Christmas tree this year because I saw the one that's like viral on TikTok and nobody can get a hold of it. So I said to Joseph, I was like, I really want this Christmas tree. And all he said to me was, but we already have a Christmas tree. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. And that was the end of the conversation. But of course, like when I put it on there, I gotta do a caption to grab people's attention. And I think it was like, my husband told me I couldn't have the viral TikTok
Oh
tree.
no.
Okay. So I put this on there. I'm expecting, like, looks great, girl. Hey, girl, send me the link to those lights. I love it. Like, great job. Way to upcycle, something like that, right? No, definitely not. The first comment was, who the hell lets their husband tell them they can't have something?
I'm gonna be honest. I tell my husband he can't have stuff all the time. I mean, he doesn't listen, but
Wow, that escalated quickly. Like, I was just thinking, girl, love your lights. No, it went straight to somebody's soapbox. And I kept going back and forth, and I was like, how am I going to respond to this? Like, what am I going to say to this
did
person?
you respond?
Oh, yeah, I did. Of course I did.
Oh,
All I responded back was, wow, what a blessing. Thanks for sharing.
I would say of the three of us here tonight, I probably have the most haters on the internet because people think trying to live is like a group team project. Like there's a group vote. Um, so there's a lot of haters. I just ignore them. Also, I don't know. I think I just have thick skin these days.
It's like a triggering conversation of, can a spouse tell another spouse they can't have something? And I had another friend who I sent it
Oh,
to, and
I'm
she
tracking
goes,
now.
grown-ups have conversations about purchasing a Balsam Hill.
I
I
mean,
bought
if
my
it
car
impacts their
without telling my
life,
husband.
a whole car.
Do what?
I was angry, and I definitely went and bought this car without Mike. I think that it blows my mind. I thought we were getting to the point where like some of these people were like aging off of Facebook and social media, especially friggin' TikTok, or like we were we were all learning together, right? But like the other day, one of the restaurants I was trying to go to posted, "Sorry guys, we're going to be closed today." And someone literally posted, some lady was like in the comments goes, "Okay,
No, boost that algorithm. Okay, we should all. I'm gonna start commenting
Follow
on like all your stuff.
following.
Okay.
okay,
Following.
following."
I had a assignment where the kids, one of their questions was, did you ever
Listeners, this is where Mary Kate Pettigo shares about her experience as a college professor.
Oh,
Continue.
one of their questions in the PR class was, have you ever posted like a negative review or a negative comment on a business? Did you get a response? What was the brand's like response to you? Was it what you expected? Blah, 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 blah. The overwhelming majority were like, I've never posted a bad review. Like, I just can't do it.
I just opened my Yelp and looked at the 1-star reviews I've given. This was 12 years ago, which I want to say, Brooke, might have been when we were in Austin. Okay, I don't know if I can read this with a straight face. I hate myself. If I wanted a plain sandwich like this, I would make it at home. There is nothing that makes, in quotation marks, this place. No special bread, no secret sauce. Boring.
I did not know you were a Karen.
This has unlocked a whole new side of you.
I must have been really angry at that sandwich. Still be under
Are you
my
guys on the
baby.
side of the TikTok where there's a lady and guys will talk crap to her, and she's like, her whole content is she's like, dude, talk crap about me, like I can find you. And then she
Oh,
does every time, and it'll be based off this really random, arbitrary, like profile photo. She will find them every time.
Where she's just like zooming in and she's like, is this the front of this cottage that you visited on this? Yeah.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on the fact that LinkedIn is having this like moment where it's wildly active again and people are posting on it like it's Facebook?
I follow this girl that we used to work at Barefoot together, and we did not work on the same teams. Like, that's literally the only reason we're connected. I don't even know if her and I ever had like a face-to-face conversation. But she's starting this company called Jaunt Boards. It's really interesting. But the way that she posts, I read almost all of her posts. Like, I think she is so interesting. I think she is so smart. I don't know that I would read them anywhere else like that, though. Like, it makes sense on LinkedIn. She's always so, oh, there's a huge raccoon.
We text about raccoons all the time. This
Where
makes
is
so
Hannah?
much sense.
Where is the
Oh
other
my God,
Hannah?
it's up on the thing.
What thing? Give us better play-by-plays.
Raccoon.
Channel your inner ESPN commentary situation. Fair.
He came from the backyard, though. Like, where did you
Let
come
him
from,
live.
bro?
I saw this movie. He's been hanging out with Chris Pratt.
I mean, I'm a little concerned to get out of the car. So
I'm sure it's
my
not
husband
rabid.
is
Hey, what's point
sure.
number 5?
I'm on number 3.
Oh, what's number 3?
Red light therapy and facial yoga.
What's facial yoga?
But I went and got one of those crazy Japanese facials.
Like a lymphatic
Basically, like,
drainage.
they like
Yeah.
slap you around for like an hour and
Where
like
did you have that done? Where did you go?
at the Post Oak in Houston.
Oh, you fancy.
So it just helps with all the drainage and stuff, but supposedly
Mm-hmm.
if you use like that stone thing and the roller, like you can almost, I mean, obviously you can't do like a Kris Jenner facelift good, but like you can definitely change your skin with yoga, and they have like all these like certain, I don't know, things you're supposed to do every day, like different techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe in that. When I was swollen up like Violet from Willy Wonka on steroids, I definitely used that stone thing and I could watch the fluid like move out of my face. It was nuts.
Especially when I'm like congested, like you can just feel
The
all.
goo shot. Yeah, I was talking about using the goo shot stone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Gasha.
Is that how you say
Okay.
it?
I don't know.
Gasha, I think. Like, if you're congested or whatever, you can go in and just have her massage your face to get everything like running. She has put me on red light therapy. Every time I get a facial, she puts me under the red light for 10 minutes. She does red
I
light,
see
I
the
think, almost
masks
every
on
day.
TikTok where you can
Yeah,
get the
she does the
mask and just
mask.
wear it.
Mhm.
My sister-in-law has one and she loves it. She says she loves to sit there and freak my brother-in-law out because she'll just be sitting on the couch with this like creepy mask.
Some people use it all over their body. Like, they make like mats that you can put like lay on and stuff. And like, it's supposed to help with like inflammation, and there's different colors for different things, but I think red light is the one that's like getting all of the attention right now.
That thing on TikTok, it's like a Y, and it's a red light therapy and like a roller thing.
The thing for our double chin?
Yeah, and it's red light therapy and like a gua sha thing all in one, and I keep getting
Oh,
served it, and I'm like, "I need to just try it." But yeah, it looks like a
Well, you know
Y.
what's really helped my double chin?
What?
Losing almost 40 pounds.
Well, there's that.
hey. Hey. I think so Theragun, those like muscle guns, Theragun makes a TheraFace. And I
Mhm.
think it does that too. It massages your face, but I think it also has a light that it does.
So do we know
But
hold
then
on,
you're like,
let me just Google real quick. So, what light
what a like a TheraFace? Or oh what red light does?
one
Mm.
of the primary benefits of red light therapy is to treat chronic inflammation, ease pain in joints and muscles, and it can also reduce body fat deposits in the arm, buttocks, thighs, and abdomen.
When I went lived in Nashville, I had a monthly membership to a place that had infrared sauna things, and you laid in them. They're
Mhm.
almost like a tanning bed. It was like a dome over you, and your head was out, but everything else, and it would targeted like your abdomen. And honestly, that like, gosh, well, whatever. It's after dark. It like really helped my like IBS stuff. Yeah, so I went like once or twice a week. And also, I had a lot more expendable income then. I was basically single, living in a big town, and I just, did bougie treatments and went to happy hour.
Then there was a lady in town who just had one, but it was one that you like floated in, one of those float pods. And I was like, I'm
That's one of my
confused.
clients, or was one of my clients. It was
I'm like,
float pods, like the zero
do you,
gravity stuff. I've
yeah,
done
but
it.
it was one, just like it was one person thing that was off the ground. I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you clean the water out?
Okay,
I don't want
so
to
I know
float
the
in
answer
someone
to this because
else's
I wrote all the
water.
copies for the website. So
Okay.
because there's so much Epsom salt, there's like 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt
Oh.
in each pod. It basically, and then this is like a self-cleaning system, but also each person has to shower before they can even get in. And then because the water is at the same temperature as your body, is the same temperature as the air in the room. So when you're floating in complete darkness, it feels like it's zero gravity because you can't tell the difference between the water and the air. So someone like me who's neurospicy, I really struggled with it. So it could take up to 3 to 5 sessions before you can teach your brain to turn off. But for me, like my brain was losing it
Mhm.
because it was so quiet that like my brain didn't know how to turn off. But I could see if you did it, very systematically, like you were on a routine, that it would be really healing for your brain, I bet, to finally just like rest.
That's interesting. I think about that a lot because for a while, I was doing meditation and meditation was really hard for me. I can do the meditation as long as someone's talking. But then when they're like, all right, now we're going to just breathe. And like, if a thought comes in, like, acknowledge it, but let it go. And
Are you on the
I,
side of the TikTok where if you like unlock your hips, you have an emotional moment and like release things?
I've heard this. And one of my friend Carly does that. She like every time she like, but I haven't,
So
like, I
this
don't know a whole
happened
lot
to
about
me
it.
one time. When I lived in Charlotte, I was doing hot yoga. I did like 30 days of yoga in a row. And in one of those sessions, I just like wildly started crying and I couldn't figure out why I was crying. And now I'm 36 watching TikTok and I was like, oh, that's why I cried in that yoga class when I was 27.
I was just about to talk about yoga. I took my first, this is sad, like, took my first yoga class, not a YouTube yoga with Adrian, but went to a hatha yoga class last week when my kid, or no, Monday when my kid had been super sick, and I was like, I just need out. And hatha yoga is definitely like deep breathing and all of that. Um, but it was one of the first times because I was just so focused on like the movements and stuff. My brain was off because I was just focused on the movements that my body needed to make and like what I was doing next and was I breathing and like my brain wasn't thinking about anything else and I was like, wow, was the
This is
class
what
harder
this
than I think it should have been?
this is what this
You're
100%.
feels like.
such a mom. You're like, what a vacation. My brain turned off.
Do you wanna know who loves to do yoga? Lila.
Really? These little girls like doing yoga. I
Yes,
love
she
that.
goes she puts on, like, a little outfit, and she goes and gets my mat, and she finds
Stop.
it on, like, the YouTube Kids, and she's in there doing all this stuff, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
"She's too
I
cute."
mean, I kind of love that. I wish that my family had incorporated like some healthier habits when we were kids, right? I mean, my parents were so busy just raising all of us and like both working, but I think about that pretty frequently, like going for walks with my kid, or like how do you incorporate like just regular, like they see it happen in your lifestyle, and so they know that it's important to take care of their bodies. So I kind of love hearing that.
We
So
play
my
outside a
mom
lot.
got Elsie it's like a little Tykes bike, and it's her
Hmm.
own Peloton. So it's like parked by my Peloton and she just pedals away.
Like, a lot of that gets worked out with 1, we play outside a lot, so we always are encouraging them to ride bikes and play and run. And then they're in sports and stuff too, so, like, when they start doing that kinda stuff, that helps a lot. But then again, it's like leading by example. I try to get out and walk in the yard or do something just to but we're not perfect. I'm like, "Yeah, you guys go play outside when mommy lays on the sofa."
There's some of that definitely when I get home and I'm like outside on our outdoor sofa and Reed's like running around. I'm like, as long as you're contained in the, like, we literally box him in now. I've gotten two of those like plastic fence things, and we've put them together so it's around his swing so he can get on his swing. And then on the other side, we literally have like the outdoor sofa. We move over this big thing where he can't get through. And then we use a table so he's like completely blocked in. And one day he's going to be able to climb over everything. And then I will 100% be screwed. But for now, we can still block him in and he can have all the fun he wants
I
inside
miss those
the little
days.
gate.
I miss those days when you could block them in and just or the days when you could just, like, leave them somewhere and walk to another
Oh, yeah.
room and come back and they were in the same spot. Yeah, I miss
Oh,
those.
yeah. Just on a blanket.
Oh,
Yeah. I
those days where you could pass out on the living room floor and she'd still be there when you woke up.
Mhm. Mhm.
Look how far you've come.
And listeners, this is where we give you a flashback photo of 2019 where I was bald during cancer treatment with a newborn. Do we think that's a good idea for you? No, we do not.
Oh,
But your
that was
Halloween
rough.
costume, I mean, you made the most of it. You made lemonade
That
out of
was a
all
good
of it.
time.
You had a great Halloween costume. You had some great wigs.
Do you know
No.
what's interesting? So I measured my bald head when it was bald, and so my head is actually petite, as it turns out, but my head with hair is not petite. So like I couldn't wear my wig right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have too much.
Although I will say, I've said it this, like, more than once, I'm just sad that it wasn't like a phoenix and you just came back a blonde when it all came back. Like, just magically, you were like a redhead
Like
or, like,
a redhead,
magically,
yeah.
like, a blonde.
Dude, most people's hair came back kinky curly, and mine came back just exactly the same as it
Yeah.
was before.
There was that girl in Real World. Um, she got cancer and she had like, I think she had blonde hair and it came back like dark brown, almost black, super curly after her cancer treatment.
Yeah.
I remember being like, because she always looked familiar, and then I didn't know the whole story and got the whole story, and I was like, oh, this is all
Maybe
making
it
sense.
just was the fact that she didn't have a Brazilian blowout and a lot of high lift color for a long time.
There's that too, right? This is my
Hey,
natural hair color.
this actually made its way out of the group chat too. Hannah Mo influenced this purchase.
Oh, that thing's great.
You
Wait,
need
who sent
one,
that?
Mary Kate.
Is it a heating pad?
It is
Yeah,
a
so
heating
it's for
pad,
your
but it's
neck
specifically
and
for your
your shoulder.
shoulders. So, like when you're sitting at your desk working and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
feel a little tight, heating pad. Oh my God,
I
what if someone listens to this podcast? No, we're not that cool. Never mind. I was going to
and
say, what
wants
if
to
someone in their
Manifest
20s
it, say
listens
it.
to our podcast and they're like, oh my God, getting old is the worst. Look at these 30 somethings. They're terrible. We know. We didn't want this for ourselves either.
I
Hey,
for
remember when?
sure keep a heating pad plugged in by my side of the bed.
So yeah, so I have a heating pad, but this thing's freaking better. This thing's it like molds to you. It's like I think a little bit weighted, which I'm usually against weighted blanket things. I don't like that. But this thing, and it like comes up your neck. But the last time I got a massage, the girl was like, you're like real like she spent most of her time on my shoulders and she was like, I can do your whole body, but like you really need me up here. And I was like, it's fine. You do what you got to do. But she was the one who was like, you need to get like a heating pad and use it regularly.
I use mine for my stomach because, stomach problems, my life. But the shoulder does sound great.
Oh, last time I got a massage, she got down to my like lower back. And I was like, this is going to be so ignorant. But I was like, oh, I was like, my hips are really tight. And she was like, these aren't your hips. These are knots in your lower back. And then she touched where my hips are, which are basically in your butt. She's like, your hips are down here. These are just knots. And I was like, those are knots? And she's like, yeah, that you need to get worked out. Like she was like, I'm surprised that you stand up straight. I was like, oh, thanks. Thanks so much. Guys, take care of your body. That's the moral of the
Hey,
story.
what's next
We
on
were
the
talking that
list?
I don't have anything else. That was all my points.
remember when we were like cool, like I at one point was flying once a month somewhere for work or a conference or to see friends or potential boyfriends. I haven't flown anywhere. I flew to Colorado for a wedding when I was pregnant. But I haven't gone I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't done anything and I feel so uncool. And this is where I go, and I prayed for this.
You know what?
Prayed for this.
I prayed for this is something I have to tell myself every day. I hate when older people say this, but it feels like yesterday. I was working on a TV show and went to 29 states in 1 year and hosted all this stuff and did all this stuff. And now it's like I have to sit down and have a business meeting with my husband to figure out how I can go on a girls' trip during a weekday because I do drop off and pick up with our 4-year-old.
I have to be told no, I can't get a new Christmas tree.
No Christmas tree for you. Oh, hey guys, I did send this in the group text earlier and no one responded, so I'm gonna bring it up now. I was served this TikTok video. She's wearing this Nike jumpsuit thing. Two
Uh-huh.
things. I don't know if my lower stomach pouch would look good in here because I did have a C-section, so there's like a little bit of a pouch situation, like a kangaroo. But I want to be able to pull this off.
Does it have like a cinch at her natural waist?
Yes.
It probably will fit you then.
Like, where am I wearing this? What shoes am I wearing?
I'm gonna have to go back and watch. She looks like it looks white to me, but I
Oh,
can barely see
do
it.
I have to wear this vest thing with it?
I don't know if I can get on board. I just feel like you're gonna go work in a mechanic shop or like I just
Okay, but hear me out. What if this is my stay-at-home uniform? Like, not stay at home, but like work from home uniform. Like, is this what I'm wearing at my desk?
I want you to
I
live
don't
your
know,
best
guys.
life. So if that
I
makes you
think order
happy,
But guys, look at the bottom. Am I gonna trip over it? Like, it's like wide-legged. Wait, I think wide leg is back in.
I'm all for it if you want to try it and send pictures.
Where does someone try this on?
You don't, you just buy it and see.
I think you
They
order
have a
it
good
and you
return
try it on
policy.
Guys, can
and
we
then you
talk
send it
about
back.
this? Okay, so the foundation I launched last year hosted a gala. We hosted an annual fundraiser gala in October, and I needed something to wear to it. And I looked all over the internet and I decided I needed to go somewhere to try on dresses. That like doesn't exist anymore, as it turns out.
Mhm.
You can't just go to a store and try on dresses. So I was like, okay, I'll do Rent the Runway. Great. I do a little measuring. I ordered multiple dresses off Rent the Runway based off measurements. None of them fit. One of them was like 6 inches away from fitting, which I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a math major. I do words, but like I did take math. So like I can measure my body, right? It's just numbers. How is it 6 inches off? Like, that feels like false advertising, first of all. And then
I would have asked
also,
for a refund.
so I ended up at Dillard's in Tulsa, America. And I literally walked around the store and was like, what is the only thing in the store that doesn't look like it's going to go on a 67-year-old woman? Which, like, listen, Blanche Devereaux, you look awesome. I just don't need something for a 67-year-old woman. You know what I'm saying? So I found like 2 dresses that looked young-ish and one fit, and that was the dress that I went with. It looked fine.
Y'all, what if the next thing that like has the big comeback is malls? Like, what if all of a sudden
Like, kids start hanging out at malls again.
this next generation is like, I don't like online shopping. We want to go and
Good for
actually
them.
physically touch and see.
I
Like,
stand.
what
I
if
stand them.
malls?
They're obsessed with the 90s and the early 2000s, and they want to
That's
do all the things. Well, there you go.
Imagine if
I
Taylor and Travis went and had a fancy dinner at the food court. It would bring it all back.
I keep seeing clips of her talking about shopping malls, like how much she loves them. And then,
Listen,
like, she tried to go with some girlfriends when she was younger, and they were like, "Oh no, I'm busy, I'm busy." So she went with her
oh,
mom,
I've
and
seen that
then
one.
they're all
Yes.
there without her.
Listen, Travis gets the
Aw.
Subaru, what is it called? Sabaro pizza. He gets the Sabaro pizza. Taylor goes and gets the orange chicken, and they meet in the middle, right? And they
They're
have
gonna
like an
stop off at
Abercrombie bag
Hollister.
beside them and an Aeropostale. Did you see the chick on TikTok was like,
Yes.
how do you
How do you
pronounce
say
Yes,
it?
how do you
Aeropostale? And it's like,
pronounce?
no one is saying that. So my mom is working on Christmas ideas for the grandkids. My mom lives in Indiana now. So I was like, hey, I think you should just go full old school and you should get all of the girl grandkids Vera Bradley totes. Vera Bradley's from Indiana, so it would be like the ultimate
Mhm.
Indiana grandma situation. I think she's thinking about it. And honestly, I got a little excited when I went to the verabradley.com and I was like, I don't know, what pattern should my kid get? It's like it's a core moment.
I ordered a pair of Abercrombie. They're wide leg jeans. I love them. I love them. And I love
I
them.
bought some Abercrombie jeans a while back and a hoodie, and I was like, "Oh, my younger self is just so proud right now."
I lived in a brown Abercrombie zip up hoodie in high school. Lived in it.
Brooke, didn't you have a random Abercrombie mini denim skirt, and the only reason why you had it is because you found it?
I did. I loved that skirt. It was approximately 2 square inches of fabric.
And you wore it with your
Mm.
Uggs, and I don't even
I
remember where
did.
you found it, but, like, neither of us could have ever afforded it. So the only
No.
reason why you had it
Also,
is because you found it.
my 16th birthday, my dad took me to the mall. My parents took me to the mall. I think it was both of them. And they bought me full price, not on sale, not hand me down, Abercrombie jeans and an Abercrombie hoodie. It was white and it had blue writing on it. And my mom washed it one day and it was white, so she wanted to bleach it and she poured bleach directly on the hoodie and
Oh
it
no.
ate a hole in it. I got to wear that hoodie exactly one time. I was
No.
devastated.
Hmm.
Devastated.
That's childhood
Um,
trauma. I'm sorry,
do
that's
you have
childhood trauma.
childhood trauma? Full circle though. So I still have my original Uggs. They're black from college, and I wear them as house slippers still. But on my Christmas list this year are Uggs
I
again,
actually have some Uggs
apparently.
on my Christmas list too. Mine are the ones with that has the bow on the back, naturally.
Cute. That is very you. I like the platforms. I want the platforms. I know you don't like them, but I still want them.
I like it for you. What else is on your Christmas list?
I have some
Sad
Christina Green
things.
jewelry. What'd
What's
you
that?
say? She's a jeweler out of Houston that I really like. She has a lot of gold. She has some turquoise work, but her stuff holds up really well. Um, like 2 or 3 of my favorite pairs of earrings are from her. Honestly, I need to work on a list. I'm like, I have my Amazon list, and I went through it, and I was like, oh look, like a thing that goes in the fridge that but it's not a circular turn thing. It's a square one that comes out and you can move it around, so it has more surface area. And I was like, oh, that probably shouldn't be on my Christmas
Don't
list.
do that to yourself.
Yeah, I should probably not. I should put that on a different list.
Does Hannah know about our road trip, Brooke?
No, we have not told her our potential road trip that we have not completely agreed upon, but it could happen.
It might make it out of the group chat. It might.
It's gonna happen.
Well, it's not even in the group chat, it's in a side chat.
I
Yeah.
was talking to Joseph about it, and he's like thinking, and he's just like, well, whose vehicle are you going to take? And he's just like, is there going to be enough room? Oh, wait, it's okay. I'll put the receiver hitch. He has one of those like racks that goes in the receiver hitch. He's like, I'll put it on
That
her
his deer was on?
Tahoe. Yeah, that his deer's on. He's like, I'll put the rack on her receiver hitch, and then you guys will have extra space for all the things. And I'm like,
Perfect.
Oh,
in
So
our
Hannah
luggage.
Mo, yeah, allegedly, between Christmas and when kids go back to school, I was like, honestly, I could leave Eastern Oklahoma and drive directly south to East Texas. I could have a little rendezvous in East Texas. Then I could pick up 3 humans, 2 small ones and 1 large one, throw them in my mom car, which has ample seating. I can fit 5, 7 people in my car pretty easily. And then we Google Maps, like we opened the Google Map app and found out how many miles it would take to get from East Texas to the Texas coast. And we were like, yeah, we could probably do that. And then we were like, where are we going to stay with all these kids? And I said, that's okay. I know that Hannah Mo's in laws have a whole apartment thing.
take
And so we'll just take an air mattress
mother-in-law's.
for all the kids. Yeah. And we'll be like camping, except not camping. And so we
It's
want to come see
waterfront.
you for New Year's.
Hey,
Yeah, it's waterfront. And I was like, we'll take the kids to the beach. I was like, they'll remember it forever. And
Core memories.
we just have to figure out if that's what we're doing. So maybe.
yeah, just let me know.
Listen, I felt so
Just
confident
show
about
up.
planning it that I was like, even if we just showed up, Hannah Mo would change her plans.
I'd
So I
figure it
thought,
out. Let's be real.
yeah.
I would just figure it
You
out.
would see us on Find My Friends, and you're like, why is Brooke and Mary Kate like headed
Which is
south on
funny.
59?
I'll check Brooks every once in a while because if it's like not the same time that we talk regularly, I'll be like, better check where she's at. So I don't call her at like a doctor's appointment or whatever.
I love
But
that.
not
That's the place I probably am.
but like not very frequently do I ever look at y'all's, but I would notice because every time you open it, it opens up the whole thing, and y'all are like way up here. So
Yeah.
I would notice if all of a sudden y'all were like closer, I'd be like, wait a second, like because I check my
Fair.
husband's location all the time. So
I do not check my husband's location ever because he's never goes anywhere. But
he's in the same location.
I never have to check his location, but I always check all of your guys' locations before I call you. Also,
No,
do you guys
mine's
think it's
usually
weird that we stalk each other's locations?
No.
I think other people think it's weird. Like my therapist
I
learned about this information and she thinks it's very weird.
I have some friends who think it's weird, and then I have other friends who are like, well, I want to share my location with you. I check all the time to see, like, I'm like, who's eating lunch right now? Which sibling is at the place that I want to go eat lunch? I'm
You ever
like,
had
hey,
someone just like abruptly stop sharing their location with you and you're like, that was rude. Are we not friends anymore?
I have one person, yeah. I don't know
The same
why. Like,
person?
we're still friends. We don't spend a whole lot of time together, but like, I noticed that I was still sharing mine and she wasn't sharing hers. And I was like, no, it works both ways. Like, I don't like that. Fine.
There was a
Like, you go be
time
shady.
that my father-in-law accidentally shared his location with me. That was a riot. That was the best entertainment. We won't go into my father-in-law today, but I think he
Yeah.
finally figured it out because it's not on there anymore.
Uh, I never thought I'd say this, but the number one way to get a hold of me, if like the inner circle, you guys already know this, but I have a favorite way of communication. I did not see it coming, and it is FaceTime.
It is FaceTime.
It is FaceTime. Like, don't call me, don't chat me. Like, if you want to hang out, like FaceTime me because I'm gonna set my phone down and I'm gonna do something and we're just gonna hang out. And what, like, when did that happen? When did that
Yeah.
take the
I feel
leaderboard?
like I feel the same. Like I feel like I FaceTime people more frequently now than I ever have.
Mhm.
Ever.
We FaceTime
Yeah.
my mom. The kids FaceTime my mom. But really, I think Brooke's probably the only one I FaceTime. I just don't think about
Oh,
it. Can we just pause for a second and like flash back 30 years ago? Would we have ever thought that we could FaceTime or even do what we're
I
doing
was
now?
6.
Like,
No.
could you have imagined? No, never.
Remember when we were
Well,
in math
actually,
and they were like,
maybe. No, hold on. No. I watched the Jetsons religiously when I was 6. I absolutely thought FaceTime would happen in the future.
I mean, I can think about how many times the math teacher said, "You'll never have a calculator in your hand," and it's like now I have the whole world in my hand, like all of the information. I have all of it in my hand.
Yeah.
You had no idea what you were talking about, teacher.
I hope
All
this
right.
turns into a podcast.
I'll do
Oh, are
my
we gonna have
best.
some intro music?
Probably. I don't know.
Cool. Can it be true crime? I like true crime.
It's gonna be
I'm
good.
excited to see your artwork. It's gonna be great. I believe in you. We need an intro, though. What's the intro gonna be?
I don't know.
Hi, welcome to our podcast. It made it out of the group chat.
Done. Do we have to like introduce ourselves or what are we gonna or we'll just do that in another episode?
No, the voiceover has to do that, the intro person. And tonight, on the very first episode of It Made It Out of the Group Chat, we've got Mary Kay Scott Pedigo. We can't tell you her college stories because they stayed in Stillwater. We've got Hannah Moe, who starts all of her emails with howdy because she went to Texas A&M. And we've got Brooke Nicole Isley Clay Taylor, who has way too many names and confuses Social Security. And that, my friends, is the trailer to It Made It Out of the Group Chat. It's a podcast.
Join us for episode 2 of Out of the Group Chat podcast, where we promise to have more structure and possibly a better intro.
There's no way we would have done that in college. We were really good kids.
Too old. We're sitting in our mom cars.
Hasta luego, my homies.
All right, I'm leaving.
Figure it out.
Hey, thanks for making us do this. If anything, we're just hanging out and it's fun.